Untitled Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Oh, it's just one of those Fridays. Thought we'd do a video this morning. We got another one coming out this evening with the Brooklyn Hit Squad, where we will review the Seattle game, Daniel Jones, and a bunch of other fun topics. It's always good to have Mr. Hit Squad in. People always say, why don't you do collabs? Well, yeah, it's not that I don't want to do collabs or I don't do collabs. It's just sometimes it's, scheduling conflicts and other different things. And I have a lot going on and other people have a lot going on. So it's just difficult sometimes to coordinate properly. But I wanted to get into a subject today. And that subject is going to be Leonard Williams, the polarizing figure known as Leonard Williams. I had the pleasure, of course, of watching Leonard Williams with the Jets because I am in the tri-state area. And I have the satellite dish and the NFL Sunday Ticket, and I'm a football junkie. So, I would literally watch football 24/7 if I could. I don't watch TV. I think I've said this before. I don't watch TV. I've never seen any episodes of Survivor, Lost, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad. I can't think whatever all the other big TV shows that have come out. I've never seen a single episode, and I don't plan to. Because I'd rather watch movies and football. So I had the opportunity to watch Leonard Williams play almost every game since 2015, because since the Jets share MetLife with the Giants, I always find them of interest. And I have to admit it, I am not one of the people that were high on the Leonard Williams trade. I think we gave up assets that we probably draft assets that we could have kept instead of getting the 25-year-old player. It was coming down off a couple down years and hadn't had a Pro Bowl season since 2016. But Leonard Williams this year is proving everyone wrong. But the big question is Leonard Williams worth Aaron Donald money? He's getting paid handsomely this year with tag. There's no doubt about it. He's getting a little over 16 million. So that's not a crazy number, but from what we're getting directly from Leonard Williams, I think he's playing well, but I don't think that's worth a $16 million investment. And he could prove me wrong because he can continue on the pace that he is now, where he's got 36 tackles and 6 sacks and, expand on that. But I just don't think that dollar figure is part of or equals to the production we're getting from Leonard. And again, that's not Leonard Williams' fault that they signed him to the cap. They signed him not to the cap. It's been a long day. That they signed him with a tag. It's not Leonard Williams' fault. And like I said, I never begrudge anyone that goes out there and gets their money. And I even said on December 26th of last year that Leonard Williams wanted Aaron Donald money because we confirmed it with a source inside his agency, and people blasted me. People said I was crazy, and that was vindicated 3 months later when they said, yeah, he wants Aaron Donald money. But everyone seems to forget that part. But I'm okay with that because I let things slide not. But the real question is, him coming off this season, or he's, after this season, we are going to have a little bit of a quandary. Do we sign Leonard Williams to a long-term contract? I don't think we're going to use the tag on him again. But at 26 years old, technically, he is going into his prime. So is he going to be worth the money to sign him to a long-term contract? Or is he just playing better because of the fact that he is basically in a contract year? He's basically in a year where he can show his wares in free agency if it goes that direction. Now, he does have 36 combined tackles. He's got, I forget how many hits he has. I think he's got 19 quarterback hits and 6 sacks. So he's doing what he always does. Leonard, like I said, Leonard Williams, I always joke because in my mind, he is the king of the almost sack. And people go, well, they have a stat for that, Tim. That's called quarterback hits and pressures. You know what? And I laugh because I've spoken to people in the NFL, and they always say one thing. Because, statistics are usually for the fans. Yes, NFL organizations look at statistics, but statistics are basically more of a barometer for the fans. I had a person that worked, or actually still does work in the league, tell me that they don't look at that because of the fact that you need to look at the end result of the hit or the pressure. Just saying someone has 19 quarterback pressures does not tell them anything. If they have 19 quarterback pressures and they turn around and the quarterback completes 13 or 16 for 300 yards off those pressures, it means nothing. If he throws 7 touchdowns off of those pressures, it means nothing. It's the end result, and they even said it's the end result of the hit or the pressure that they look at in the film room. They don't look at the numbers that they have. Because there are certain quarterbacks you put pressure on, you go after them, they excel. And they will eat you alive because of the fact that more than likely if you bring X amount of pressure, you have one-on-one coverage somewhere on the field, or we're running that damn soft shell zone. So they don't look at that. They look at the way he penetrated. They look at, and I've been told this many times, they look at how the player penetrates from the line, how his penetration, what disruption does he cause, and they look at the intrinsic value of that, not the statistical value of having 19 quarterback hits or quarterback pressures or whatever statistic you want to use. So that's why I jokingly call him the king of the almost sack, because the sack is a result of the pressure. Of the hit. That's a result. And people will say, well, Tim, hitting the quarterback is monumentally important because it rattles them. No. Well, you know what? Some quarterbacks, it does rattle. Some quarterbacks don't care. Eli Manning didn't care. Towards the end of his career, Eli did because he was in his late 30s. But in the early parts of Eli's career, Eli didn't care if you hit him. My God, look at the San Francisco playoff game. The poor dude had turf coming out of his head and his helmet halfway size. He was looking at his ear hole. And he still came back and threw the game-winning touchdown. So it's you have to look deeper into the value instead of just looking at his stats. Now, is Leonard Williams making the players around him better? That's another question. Is his play impacting Dexter Lawrence, Dalvin Tomlinson, Austin Johnson, and whoever else we're throwing out on the edge? And honestly, I'm not saying it's not, but again, is it worth Aaron Donald money or $16+ million? And that's the value that the Giants need to figure out in reference to Leonard Williams. What is his actual value to the team? And I've said it before, I would not have a problem if we gave Leonard Williams $12 million a year. I would say I would cap him at 4-year, $12 million, guarantee like 23, and just leave it at that. Because free agency is a tricky thing. I remember last year, Marcus Golden. Everyone told me $10 million. He's getting $10 million. He's getting $10 million, and I kept saying he'll be lucky if he gets five. Because the intrinsic value for Marcus Golden was his ability to get to the quarterback on a bad team. And I've said it before, and a lot of people have said it. Statistically, if you think about it, someone has to get the sack, someone has to get the pressure, someone has to get the tackles on a bad team. So NFL scouts look at the films and see how he's getting those sacks, and they build off his free agent value from there. And that's why I kept saying he's not getting more than $5 million. He's not getting more than he was going to get when he got his 1-year contract last year. And his value was so high to the Cardinals, they traded a 7th-round pick for him? So it's you can't just look at statistics when you look at a player. And that's what the NFL teams do. That's why they don't pay attention a lot of times to the stats. That's why they don't pay attention to Pro Football Focus. Because it doesn't tell the whole picture. Leonard Williams, to me, is a $12 million player. $12 million, I'd give him $12 million a year, because what you're going to get out of him is you're probably going to get anywhere between 40 and 60 tackles. You're probably going to get anywhere between 5, maybe 3 to 7 sacks to 8 sacks. And he will be a disruptor, and he will help collapse the pocket. But right now, him being disruptor and collapsing the pocket is not causing sacks on the other side, at least not in a great number. And that's the value you have to look at for Leonard Williams. Because are his pressures ending up in results? If you look at it, Dexter Lawrence is the next leading sack person. That makes no sense. Is next in sacks on the team at 3. Kyler's got 3 as well. And Blake has got 2. And I know it's because we don't have an edge, so don't sit there and tell me it's because, well, Tim, we don't have an edge. Yes, and I've said it before, and I said it since the beginning of the season, we are going to be a defensive substitution, a defensive opportunity. But from you to go to 6 sacks to 3 sacks, and those be your 2 team leaders, And Kyler hasn't had a sack in I don't know how long. And now he's on the injured reserve. So I mean that's not improving your line. It's not improving your line play to the point that you need Aaron Donald money. Plus, the cap alone in 2021 is going to be a tricky situation because most people forget Nate Solder's contract basically paused. It basically paused and rolled over into 2021. So if we release Nate, that's a $13 million cap hit. And right now, our estimated cap space is only $18.9 million. Now, people are going to say to me, Tim, how do you know this? And I love those people because it's like, I can do math. I haven't been wrong about the cap yet. Why? Because I can add and I can subtract. It's not that difficult to figure out. I may be off by a couple $100,000 here and there, but I can do the math. So if we're a little over 18 in estimated cap space, and we release Nate, and you have dead cap space of 13, I think you only got a savings of about. Again, he's got a total cap head of 16 something million. You're only going to gain $3 million for his service. Now, Kevin Zeidler is probably going to be gone because his dead cap space is only $2.5 million, and with a cap hit of 14. So it's going to make sense to keep Nate and dump Kevin. But like I said, I'm probably going to lose Golden Tate. Golden Tate, I think, has got a dead cap space of like 4.7 off a $10 million contract. So, that we are going to find room on the cap, but we don't know with the revenue being down this year, we don't know what the salary cap's going to be. If it's probably going to, it will probably maintain to a point that it probably will go down. And that's what we need to be careful about. And that's how Nate, everyone was so happy when Nate opted out. I wasn't, because I understood the fact that his salary is just rolling over into 2021. So that was going to screw our cap in 2021. So I would have rather released him last year or this year, and then we would have gained that cap space back for the 2021 season. But that's neither here nor there. He opted out in COVID, so we understand that situation. So I don't fault him for that. But the Nate Solder contract and the Leonard Williams contract are just two dichotomies this team needs to figure out. It's a dichotomy. I mean, it's just they need to figure it out. And I have no problem bringing Leonard back, and I've said it before, on a valued contract of at least $12 million, which I'm fine with because I think he brings that value. But if you're talking 16, 18 million, we're better off just letting him go in free agency. And again, we're going to do a show this afternoon with the Brooklyn Hit Squad this evening. We did a nice little episode yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Talk about everything from how old I am to Apple earbuds or whatever they're called. Those things in a little box. So it's fun. It's interesting. We talk about the fact that what would happen if Daniel Jones was on Seattle and vice versa. So, but again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could subscribe, if you could ring that bell, I think you know what that means. That'd be awesome.